This is like the 9th time I've tried to do this intro, and it's like really hot. What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get started into this video, if you guys do like this video, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe for weekly content. Make sure you guys turn on those post notifications so you guys don't miss a video. I'm pretty sure that's what you have to say. Yeah, anyway, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys, or telling you guys, how I got my Atar. Now if you guys haven't seen my Atar reaction video, it'll be linked down in the description below. But I'm basically gonna give you guys like my top 5 tips that I sort of used myself during the HSC, and then I have an important announcement at the end of this video, so hopefully you guys stick around. I also have a bonus tip at the end of this, but these 5 tips are tips or things that I actually used myself in order for me to get that Atar. So they are definitely sort of practical in that sense. Some of it are like literally how I got my Atar, and some of them are like little like tips and stuff that I used during year 12 and year 11 as well, for that matter. But without further ado, number 1, so firstly, is time management and scheduling. Now this is the main tip that I used during my HSC, time management and scheduling. It's basically how I kept organized with all my stuff. Now various people use different types of time managing and scheduling, but I myself just used my notes on my phone. Now the reason why I use the notes on my phone is because I took my phone around with me everywhere, like some of you guys probably do. We take our phones everywhere with us, and it's like really small and compact, whereas if someone was to carry around like a big old diary or like a piece of paper or something like that, it'll be sort of tedious to carry on. But I found that scheduling stuff in my notes, just on my phone here, was the easiest for me. I'll actually show you guys how I scheduled things out. Alright, so if you guys are able to see that, I literally just oh shiz, I literally just typed up everything that had to be done for my HSC trials. So this was for my HSC trials. Now in addition to using this for scheduling like my study, we were actually given in school like a little weekly planner. So we got to sort of use like a weekly planner. I actually lost all of them, so I really don't know where they are, but it was like a sheet of paper that had like boxes and stuff of what we had to do, and then I literally just allocated time slots for tasks that had to be done for each of my subjects. So at the start of the week, I'd go through all 5 of my subjects, and then I'd see if I had any outstanding tasks that had to be done for each of those subjects, and then I would just allocate them into days that I was available. Now depending on which task I would do first, that would depend on how hard the task was. So for me, English was my worst subject, so I would sort of put my English tasks on days where I had the most free time. So during the HSC, I had to train, so that was one of the things that I had to balance with the HSC as well as work. So for example, if a Monday or if a Tuesday, let's say Tuesday, if a Tuesday was a rest day and I wasn't working on Tuesday, then I would allocate English to that day, because I want to have more time to do it, because that was like a weak point of mine. So, and also with scheduling, it was good for me because I wasn't ever like lost or confused or sort of like wondering or stressing like what I had to do the next day. I would just be like, what's tomorrow's work? And then I would just go onto my notes or my weekly planner, go onto like that day, and then see, oh, I've got that English homework I have to do, and then after that I've allocated like an hour for PDHPE homework. So that was good for me. Now obviously things happen, so you have to change it, and that's one of the things that I had to sort of get used to, was rescheduling tasks and stuff. So that was a bit tedious, but every time that I would plan, I would sort of try and take into consideration every single variable, like work and training. That way my scheduling was as effective as possible. Okay, also if you guys want to take this route, it was actually mentioned to me by one of my teachers at my school, but it was reverse scheduling. I'm just going to call it reverse scheduling, but it's basically where you put in like your diary or your timetable things that like aren't school related, like so work and gym. So you would put down when you had work and when you had to train, and when you had like training for sports and like other stuff like that. You would put that in your schedule instead of like study tasks and school related things, and then in the gaps you would fill in your actual school tasks and study days. So reverse scheduling, try that if you guys want. I didn't do that myself, but I heard that it's pretty effective sometimes. Yeah. Number 2 in how I got my Atar, okay, is ranking. Okay, so if you guys don't know, ranking is pretty much everything in the HSC. So without my high ranks in most of my subjects, there is no way I would have gotten that Atar. But a tip that I would give you guys in terms of ranking, so obviously if you top your class in like any assignments or any exams, then there's this whole sort of like like algorithm sort of thing to give you like your overall rank. But basically, if you come first in most of your assessments and exams, then you will come first in your class. Now, one thing that helped me sort of rank first in some of my subjects in terms of my assessments, basically reading off the criteria. Now, when I was doing my assessments, I would always, as soon as I was done with them, read through the criteria and check if I've hit all the dot points in the criteria. Now, some of you guys may have different sort of ways that your assessments are marked, but that's basically just how I did well in my assessments. So that was the #1 way that helped me get my rankings. Now, the bonus tip is actually related to this tip, so I'll actually get back to this tip later. But we're gonna move on to #3. So #3 is communication. So communication with your teachers specifically. So with me, I would always communicate with my teachers. I always had a good relationship with most of my teachers. Or like all of my teachers. I had a good relationship with all of my teachers. But basically, communicating with your teachers in terms of like the syllabus. So we had like a syllabus which was the content that we were studying, and I would always make sure that I was ticking off every single point in the syllabus that we were learning like in class, and any questions that I had would sort of be based on that syllabus point. I would sort of cross-reference those syllabus points with the notes in my book and see if I've got every single syllabus point covered, because the syllabus that you're given for each subject is basically the answers for the exam. So if you know your syllabus and then you know the content, then you will know most of the answers in the exam. Hopefully you guys know that. But I always ensured that the syllabus was being followed. Any days that I missed out, I would always check with my teachers to see how far they went into it in terms of like the note taking for that syllabus point, so I could catch up on at home. Always ask the teacher for help. Like, this is so like underrated. I feel like people don't ask for help too much. I don't know if they're lazy or if like they're too scared, but every single time that I had like the slightest doubt in any point, I would always ask a question, except for English. Like like every single subject except for English, I would ask the teacher questions. Asking questions just to help clarify and things like that helped me a lot. Please keep asking your teachers questions, like even if they're stupid. Like, I used to be afraid, but like when I think about it now, it's like 100% worth it. Because imagine if you didn't ask a question about one syllabus point and then you got like a full extended response question for that one syllabus point. So yeah, okay. #4 is effective note taking. Now, I love taking notes. Hey, I just like writing. But in terms of effective note taking, I would always highlight. So highlight is a really good, basically just coloring in your book so that it's like nice and bright and stuff. That's some things that I used. I used to allocate different highlight colors for headings, subheadings, sub-subheadings, and sub-sub-subheadings, and that helped me sort of filter everything out. For those of you guys who type, I know a couple of people, a couple of students in my class actually typed for their notes. I have no idea how to help you, but in terms of like writing your notes, damn, the lighting's going off. This natural lighting, stay please. Like, I used to even use like arrows and diagrams and sort of little notes on the side that my teacher would say that would probably work in an extended response. Like, just like I used to write anything down, even if it might not be useful later, it's still worth putting down. Okay, so effective note taking. Now, I myself, I know some teachers and some people don't take it down word for word. I myself I don't do like word for word. I would usually just read. Damn, I'm like dark. I would usually just read like a heading or a subheading. I would read through it no matter how long it was, and then I would just go back through it again and then take down the points that matter. In terms of like identifying points that actually matter and like sentences and stuff that actually matter like in the textbook for that syllabus point, it really like depends. Usually I could tell if like a sentence in the textbook was worthless or actually was useful, and that was because, I don't know, like you could just tell when like you look at a textbook and when you look at a textbook and then you read like a subheading, you can see whether it's actually content or not. Like, I know it's like hard to explain, but you'll see like once you read through textbooks and stuff. Yeah, that was tip #4, effective note taking. #5 is just do it. This is something that I would always tell myself during the HSC, was just do it. Like I just said, stuff it. Like, it's only 2 years, year 11 and 12, and then you're done. So that's why I sort of dedicated like those 2 years to like studying. Look, at the end of the day, if you guys really want to go to uni and you really want to get those good marks and just get that recognition, you just have to do it. Like, put your head down and do the work. Like, don't be lazy. Now, of course, you do have a life out of studying, so you obviously can't study 24/7, but you know, know, you can still even live your life. Like I had training. I trained like at least 4 times a week, and then I also had work a couple times a week. But even with work, I would always just get, it was always flexible, so I could always just allocate specific times, specific days during the week where I could work. So that was even good. Like a lot of people think that like studying and like getting good marks and stuff like that means that you have to study every single hour of the day, but like honestly you don't really need to. It's all about just filtering content out and making sure that you understand the work, and that all comes down to the things you do at home. Like you're not in jail, right? So don't think that you're just stuck studying all the time. So yeah, that's sort of the mindset that I had in year 11 and 12. Oh wait, no, this is the bonus tip. Okay, so this is like a little bonus tip that I feel like I'm pretty sure that without this I wouldn't have gotten like that Atar. Basically, if you have a small school slash class, it'll make it a lot easier to rank higher in them. And like I said before, ranking is everything. Now I myself did not just go to my school because I knew it was going to be small. Like it was actually very big. Like in year 7, it was when I was in year 7, like I had like a lot of students, but then as the years went through, like a lot of people started to leave and stuff, and then I ended up having like the smallest class, which was like 3 people. Like if I went to like a bigger school, like I don't know, like Freshie or something, it'll probably be a lot harder to like rank high in some of those subjects. But I didn't even know that it was gonna be small, so yeah. But yeah, there's like a bonus tip for you guys. What if you guys would actually take that seriously? Like you don't like move schools. Like, come on. Anyway, those are my 5 tips that I used, 5 things that I sort of implemented into my HSC. If there's one tip that I wanted you guys to sort of go through with, it'd be the time management and scheduling. Because as soon as like my teacher would say something, like this is due tomorrow at this time, straight took out the phone, bang, 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 Tuesday, bang, done. And then as soon as I would go home, like you know how Facebook and like YouTube and like all your social medias on your phone, you would go through that cycle. So you go on Facebook, and then once Facebook's boring, you'd go on like Snapchat, and then like after Snapchat's boring, go on Instagram, and then you go on YouTube, and then you keep cycling through those. I would just add my notes, the notes app, to that cycle. It sounds so stupid, but like it actually works. Like it actually works, trust me. All right, now that is over, we're gonna go into the big announcement. So basically my channel is 100% public, 100% public. So you guys will now get to see my Road to HSC series. I'm gonna take these off, I don't even wear glasses. Like yeah, so my Road to HSC series was basically I documented every single week starting from January 2018. I recorded every single school week, documenting my journey all the way up to my graduation week. So altogether it was 3 seasons. So I had 3 terms in 2018. I actually didn't start it the year before during term 1 of E12 because I didn't really think of it, but so I started it in term 2. So I recorded 3 terms, so it was 3 seasons, and they all had like roughly around 10 episodes each because it's 10 weeks in a term. But basically I documented my journey through the HSC, and the reason why I didn't sort of upload it publicly every week was just because I didn't want to get distracted with YouTube, like all this YouTube stuff. But now that it's finally over, I sort of decided to put my channel out publicly before my birthday. So my birthday is actually tomorrow. It's my birthday. So I decided to put it out on my birthday. So yeah, the link in the description will be below for the full playlist of the series. Please check it out if you guys want to see how, like really how I actually got that Atar, because I really did dedicate a lot of time and a lot of effort into making those videos. Now the first season and like the first few episodes, it was like so bad. I was literally just getting started being in front of the camera and stuff, so I was so camera shy. My editing skills are pretty trash, so there were a lot of like gaps and stuff in the clips, but hopefully you guys still do enjoy it. The reason why I actually sort of did it was, one, it was for entertainment. Obviously I like to entertain people, like not like that, but like but also because I sort of did want to sort of show you guys how an average person would go through the HSC and stuff like that, because I know it's something that no one really has ever put on YouTube before. So I sort of was like, oh, that's a good idea. And plus I was school captain at my school, so this is something that I sort of want to leave them to sort of like help them a little bit, or to see how I sort of attacked each task and each thing for the HSC. So yeah, make sure you guys watch from season 1, episode 1. Hopefully you guys do enjoy like the series. I also had like a couple of random videos that I wanted to upload, like some gaming videos, so you guys can watch that if you want, but it's mainly just the Road to HSC series. Like I didn't even realize how long I've been waiting to make this video and to make my channel public. So for those of you guys who are like, he should upload like way more, bro, like I have been uploading this whole time. Again, check the playlist out in the description, or just check my channel out in general for my Road to HSC series, and hopefully you guys do enjoy the series. So that's pretty much it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuce.